Hey everyone to this Legion Tower Defense 2 Patchnotes rundown with patch 8.02. We finally have the new launch trailer coming out today, so if you're watching this video, we're gonna watch it. Welcome everyone to the Patchnotes rundown of patch 8.02. We will finally watch the full launch trailer today on stream, so when you're seeing this video today, September the 8th, 4 PM Central European Time, we will watch the trailer live with the premiere on YouTube. You will find a link to the trailer here. You will find a link to the Twitch stream down below, so check both of this out if you're willing to. We will as well already get a sneak peek to the two new units of the Divine Legion, which will be the tier 6 and the tier 6 upgrade, named Holy Avenger and Sovereign, both being released on the exact date the game goes on full launch. We will know the date today in the full launch trailer, so be aware it can't be too far away though. For all the Steam achievement hunters, you will now be able to find 52 achievements in Legion Tower Defense 2, so if you have fun with this, go check it out. There's a lot of nice achievements you might wanna get. Here's a sneak peek on the two units. They will come out, as mentioned, on the full launch date to the game, so I'm really looking forward. Next is something I really do like, especially for learning the game. For newer or mid-range players, it's going to be the top games. Top games is a section in the leaderboards that will show all the units that are in the game at the moment, and at least one game, or I think it's actually only one game, with a very high elo player playing those units recently. So you'll be able to check out the game, go through the waves, see how he developed the build around the unit or with the unit, when he did upgrade it, when he maybe leaked, and you can just self-learn some techniques and this, so I really do like this feature. There's some new emojis coming as well, so if you're a friend of spamming emojis in the chat, feel free to do so. There's, I don't know how many these are, 14. I think there's actually one more they just added, so it's probably gonna be 15 new emojis. Feel free. There's a ton of bug fixes, improvements and stuff like this, but nothing that will change a lot on the gameplay. So we're gonna concentrate on the balance changes. First of all, eco strategy is getting nerfed. I think it wasn't a problem in 2v2, not at all. It was probably a problem in 4v4, which is gonna be the main target of it. So now the gold you get from the leaks on the opponent's team are no longer given, so you don't get any more gold from your opponent leaking if he's playing eco strategy. The same way though, he is getting reduced leak gold. So overall it's just a big nerf to the eco strategy. It's probably even not able to be played anymore, depending obviously how much the reduction actually is. There's some king changes. First of all, Lightning Hammer plus 6 damage, and it's so important to get those. Lightning Hammer from one of the best spells to one of the worst spells. I love those changes. What I really don't like is that in the same take we have Immolation, Judgment and Chain Frost all getting nerfed by 2%. I think they were in a good spot, and Lightning Hammer was really bad. And if you just buff Lightning Hammer, I would have been super happy. Next on the list, we have Legion spells with the Pulverizer. The stun duration against bosses goes down, especially hard with like ramp up units, Sky Queen, Atom for example. I think it's a good change for 15, but I don't like the change for 20, because 20 already has a passive ability which reduces stun, and at the moment Pulverizer is the only stun in the game. So it's like doubling the stun reduction on 20, so maybe this you might not even stun anymore, or just have no more stun chance on 20. That is longer than, I don't know, 0.2 seconds. I don't know. I think I'm happy that it's not getting nerfed against normal units as well. It is a strong spell, especially the later the game goes, but I'm unsure about 20. I like it for 15 though. In the fighters, we're starting with the Gargoyle and the Green Devil, both getting small attack speed nerfs. This is fine, they're both very strong, especially early on. Just imagine you can add 2 magic damage arcane tanks for 80 gold on wave 3, which is allowing so many openers to go 5 workers per 3, and just add those gargoyles and boom, there you go. So some small nerfs are fine there. Next on, we're actually addressing some major problems or some very strong units. Sky Queen opener, for example, is one of them, and a nerf on the HP on Sky Queen is perfect because you will still keep it in the DPS unit spot, but you will somehow reduce the ability of it opening with the Sky Queen. So that's a great go. I really do like this change. I don't like the Harpy nerf. I think Harpies were in a good spot. You didn't need the HP nerf there as well, but fine. It's nothing awful, I think. We're going on with some pretty good changes. Zeus is getting the spell reduced. Zeus spell mid and late game especially very strong. It won't change too much in the early game, since in the first few waves it's overkilling the units with a spell anyway, so it doesn't change the opener, at least not in the first 4 waves, but it will change Zeus in mid and late game, which I really like. Pyro getting some more damage buffs. I mean, I think we don't have to talk about Pyro being really weak. You probably see it yourself or watched my streams or other YouTube videos on tier lists, for example. Pyros are very weak. I do like the fact though that the damage is getting buffed. So the more they buff the damage, the better it's gonna be soon. I think it won't change too much now to buff it +1 damage, but if it's getting another +1 damage, it's pretty good, or it might be pretty good then. So it's getting slowly into a spot where it's really good again to be played, but I think not yet. It's not yet there. Fire Elemental getting some love, which is great. I love Fire Elemental, you know it, guys. I was really hit hard by the insane nerfs they made on Fire Elemental actually at the beginning of the season, which is not like, oh, we're giving it 0.02 attack speed. No, but it was like we're reducing its damage, plus we're buffing Hermit, we're buffing Mole, so Fire Elemental opener is just dead. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. There's more buffs needed to make it a viable and strong opener again, but a step in the right direction. We finally get some more Kingpin nerfs. Kingpin are just insanely busted. I would have really liked some more damage, some more HP nerfs on top of the damage nerfs. Just compare Kingpin to a Golem, for example, around the same HP, if I remember right. But we do have better HP per gold on the Kingpin, and around the same HP size. Like they're very, very big size. 45 tanks, only boars comparable with them just being a big fat tank, 45. Kingpin's HP per gold is a little bit better, if I remember right, than the one from Golem, and its DPS is significantly higher. So I can only see that we will have some nerfs there, especially on the HP as well. I already mentioned it with the Pyro. AoE isn't something you should play at the moment. This way we get some more buffs on Honeyflower and Deathcap. I think it's same as Pyro. It's getting slowly into a spot where it's good again, but not yet there. There's one exception where you can play Flower, is when you only build one Flower and then don't commit on AoE, but commit on a normal build. A Flower can give you a very high push in the early game. Like it's one of those builds that might give you 7 workers after 3, maybe even. And then you just have to have a good setup to fight yourself through the following waves. Next on, something very interesting. We do have Berserker getting a nerf, and it's getting an HP nerf, which I do like. Berserker is a very strong early game unit. You can pair it with a bunch of tier 1s to go 5 workers per 3. For example, Mask, you have Polywalk, you have Diatom, you have Chain Fist, you have the Sea Serpent as a non-tier 1 unit. And all those synergize very well with Berserker because the Berserker is a great tank and the other units provide the damage. So some small HP nerfs on Berserker are fine, I think, for the early game. I do like the change. We do have Fatalizer though being nerfed as well, and I don't really see the problem with Fatalizer. I see with Berserker, because Berserker you have Swift Armor, the best armor type in the early game. You do have the ability to shut bosses or Rockos down, so it makes it good for 5 and 6. You do have the fact that it's melee and does have quite some HP, which makes it a proper tank for the early game. So there's a lot of facts that make a Berserker good in the early game, but a Fatalizer later on is actually mainly a damage dealer or an off tank in most scenarios, in most builds. I don't really like the fact that it's getting nerfed there. I feel like it wasn't a good state. We get some mana regeneration buffs on Disciple. I think nobody's playing a Disciple if he's not playing Starcaller, so fine with that. Next on, some very interesting changes. We have the Great Boar and the Red Eyes both getting HP nerfs, which I love, because Boars and Red Eyes are units that you force into a specific category. You force yourself into a specific playstyle as soon as you choose them, which is same as Flower and Pyro. You basically don't split in most of the cases. Like with Flower and Pyro you never split usually, but with Boars you don't split in 95% of the cases. So you kind of need a strong spell to justify this commitment. And I think nerfing the HP while they already have insane HP is a good step to keep the identity going, to have a very strong spell, which is the case at the moment, but nerf them. I really do like those nerfs. They were really strong, so I'm really happy to have it. Next on Doomsday, we do have some smaller attack speed buffs. That's fine. Doomsday, Millennium, they're not really units you play at the moment. We see it though. We have Pyro getting Pyro getting buffed. We do have Flower getting buffed and Doomsday getting buffed. A few seasons ago, those were like a really strong synergy. You had Doomsday and some source of AoE, and it was really demolishing everyone's builds. And now it's shifting into a direction again where this comp might get interesting and might get strong again. So there you can see the meta shift going. A lot of people playing AoE, it's getting dumped down, or not dumped down, but nerfed down, and you can't play it anymore, and slowly it's going up because no one is playing it. So I really do like those shifts. I would not like to have another AoE meta though. I would really not like that. Let's go to the Mercenaries. Imps, they're busted at the moment. Imps are 100% the strongest mercenary in my eyes. Just because of the fact that there's some ways they totally demolish, and the buffs therefore, or the nerfs, are way too small in my eyes. Imps are still gonna be insanely strong, 5 and 6, on 9 as well. They're still gonna smash down those natural fortified units on those waves that you need to defend yourself on those waves. So no big fan here. With the Ogre, I didn't feel it's too weak. I didn't really have a problem with the Ogre. I can't say too much. I felt like it wasn't a good state. What I don't like though is that you buff the attack speed. I would have liked to rather buff the damage itself, because the more attack speed you buff, the more of the extra ability damage with every third attack it was, or every fourth, I can't remember right now. It takes is obviously getting more often, and this might lead into a monster ogre sometime. I don't know though, it's just speculation. And last but not least, we will watch the waves, what changes there. And we already see there's some power shift, from 12 and 15 to 11, 13 and 14. I do like especially the power shift away from 15, because 15 feels way too strong. I would have liked it though that maybe we're gonna get to 15. We do have attack speed buffs on 11. I think it's okay. 11 already felt pretty good, so I kind of didn't need it. I actually didn't. I would have not needed the first 3 wave changes. Next on, small nerf on 12, and we have some HP buffs on 13. Same as 11, 13 feels strong, probably a little bit stronger already, due to the fact that it is a special wave with only 6 creeps. Very, very tanky creeps, very high damage creeps, so you profit from other builds. The wave is always a little bit different or more difficult to hold. So it felt already very special, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be a little bit too broken soon. Let's see though. Next on, we do have attack speed buffs on 14. I'm fine with that, but I would have really liked some bigger nerfs on 15, because we only get 0.01 attack speed nerf, which is like no change almost. But what is a big change and what I really do like is the change of the Quadrupus range, so of the boss range, back to 450. It was changed to 550 on patch 8.00, and this had the effect that units like a Shaman or a 4-Eye are now spawning in front of the Quadrupus, which you really don't want to have, since they can get sniped there. They might not get sniped there, so you have RNG factor in there, you have the factor that you send range units and they not getting protected and all of this. So I do like this change. I think the attack speed change is a joke. The wave's still gonna be insanely strong. This extra range it got with new season 8 is just so insanely good for the wave. It's able to deal so much damage before units can even get into a range where they can attack. You really need to nerf it more to get rid of this insane buff from season 8 patch. I hope you liked it. I'm hoping you're hyped for the full launch of Legion Tower Defense 2. There's new units coming. There's the new trailer coming today. There's actually a pretty nice patch. A few things I would have done different, but most of the things are really great. Enjoy your ranked games and see you next time. Bye bye.